moments in a woman's journey to womanhood. While it's a natural process, proper preparation can make the experience safer and equally less stressful for both the mother and equally the baby. Knowing the signs of labor, understanding when to seek medical attention, and having the right support can significantly improve outcomes during childbirth. And to guide us through this process, we have right here in the studio, that is a nurse and equally midwife. He's called NGASAH Leonard. Good day. It's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you, madam. I'm happy to be here this morning. My name is NGASAH Leonard, as you rightly said. I'm a midwife working with the Bopi Baptist Hospital, Douala.
Exactly. You are working with the Bopi Baptist Hospital, and I guess you have worked with a lot of pregnant women in that facility. But first, we want to know from you, how can a woman tell she's in labor?
The very first sign you will see a woman in labor, she will start presenting with labor pains. Pains that starts from the abdomen and radiate to the back. She will also tell you she has seen blood mixed with kata, a substance that looks like kata exactly. She will also tell you she has had rupture of membranes, and you should also know that a woman might come with labor with that all these signs and symptoms. So sometimes women will come with labor that we call it silent labor, and she's dilating without any labor, without any contractions. All that is still labor. So these three signs, they are the signs that you can actually diagnose that the woman is in labor. She has labor pains, she has rupture of membranes, and she has this show, what we call kata, that mixes with blood.
Does it mean not all women experience labor the same way?
Exactly. Not women experience, that's the truth. Most of them, they will present with one or two of these symptoms, while some of them will present with none, but they are still in labor. That can only be diagnosed in the hospital.
Within the context of Cameroon where you are working, tell us, what are some common mistakes women in labor do make?
Yes, the very first mistake women make in labor first is choosing a wrong hospital.
Okay.
Yes, we have women that they are not permitted to deliver in the clinic. When they're in labor, they go to a clinic. When complications arise, that's when they go into other serious complications. Then another thing, they go into labor without a caregiver. Another thing, they go into labor without eating. Another thing, they go into labor without preparing financially. Those are some of the complications and the mistakes that women make that ends up putting them in other serious complications that you might know of.
Now, for those who like to participate on today's edition of the program, here are the numbers: 670-5470-49. I repeat, 670-5470-49 or 656-622222, 656-622222. If you're pregnant or you know someone close to you who is pregnant and you want to know questions, want your questions about labor to be answered, then this is the right program for you. And back to you, nurse. What items should an expectant mother pack in her hospital bag before delivery?
Before delivery, a woman should also think of the baby. And so when packing things, she should think of herself and the baby. First, she should pack things for herself. First, she should pack things like the clothing, the toiletries. She needs to prepare food that she will eat. She also needs to take her own personal slippers, underwears, and all the rest. She needs all those things in the hospital. Then for the baby, she also needs to take clothes for the baby, napkins, diapers, and all the rest. So she needs all those things for her baby. Then she should also think of her caregiver who will be beside her, who will accompany her, who can take along food and also accompany her while she is in labor. So she needs to take all these things along.
Are there any danger signs that should not be ignored by a pregnant woman while she's in labor?
While she's in labor, we need to be very careful of these danger signs. First, a woman that is in labor and she's bleeding abnormally, we should take serious note. A woman that's in labor and she's convulsing, a woman that's in labor, she's becoming lethargic, a woman that's in labor and she is not breathing well, all these signs and symptoms, or her blood pressures are increasing abnormally, we should be able to take care of this woman and should take this thing seriously.
Okay. Yeah. And now, before, let's say, 24 hours to labor, what are some of the things a pregnant woman needs to do before giving birth?
Yes, before giving birth, the pregnant woman needs to prepare herself. That's physically and emotionally. First of all, she needs to know that labor is a process. It takes time. She needs to prepare that and have that in her mind. She should also know that she will feel pains. She should have that in her mind. She should have a caregiver, somebody who can comfort her be it a husband, a neighbor, a friend, an uncle, a sister, anybody. She should have that in mind, and she should be able to prepare all the things that has been required by the hospital to be beside her before she goes into labor.
What are some apart from the blood stains that the bleeding that could occur during labor, what are some other complications that may occur?
Some other complications, we have other complications like preeclampsia. A woman that is having persistent blood pressures that are not controlled, she can go into eclampsia, seizures. Those are serious complications that we need to think of. A woman can also have uterine rupture. It means that she's in labor, she's having contractions that are uncontrollable, and the uterus ruptures. Those are other serious complications, yes, that can occur during labor. Yeah.
And now, in cases like we have our context, you have the case where a woman says she was doing laundry, and while doing that laundry, she noticed that she was in labor. Is it normal for a woman at that type of stage of pregnancy to be carrying out such activities? Is it normal? Do you advise women to do so?
Yes, she can wash clothes, but it depends on the position.
I think we have a call on the line. We'll come back to that question. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Your name, where you're calling from, and your question, please.
I'm Monton Bevo Stephen from Batoke.
Okay.
Limbe.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, I had a neighbor that the wife got bed and was dealing fine, but after a while, the lady died, and when I questioned the doctor was making me to understand that was eclampsia. So
Preeclampsia.
I want to ask the midwife man, according to aside you, what is the cause of that eclampsia? Because I don't know, I'm not with the medical field. What is eclampsia?
Okay. Thank you so much for participating on the program.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for the question. Actually, eclampsia is a multi-organ disease. It means that it's a disease that affects many organs in the body in the pregnant woman, and it comes as a result of pregnancy. It can happen when the woman is pregnant. It can happen during labor. It can also happen after she has delivered. It comes as a result of increasing blood pressures. It means that her blood pressure has been increasing and no control. Nothing has been done about it to control the blood pressures. And at one point in time, this complication now affects her organs, and before you know it, this woman starts convulsing, and some organs starts failing. And when the organ starts failing, it is too late for her to be alive. So most of the time, this type of women, we need to control them. That's why we encourage women to go for antenatal clinic where their blood pressures are taken regularly, and we control them. Because a woman that has high blood pressure, she's at risk of having eclampsia. And so we encourage them to go for clinic so that we monitor their blood pressures and other things. And you should also know that there are women that their blood pressures can be high throughout pregnancy, but during labor, she presents with this eclampsia. But if she has presented with eclampsia in a hospital setting that they are ready enough to handle any emergencies, I think this woman will not die of eclampsia. And so that woman died of eclampsia because it was late, or maybe the hospital was not ready enough to handle her. We have cases of eclampsia that we see in the hospital, and we manage it promptly, and these women, they leave the hospital happy with their children. And so blood pressures monitoring during clinic is very important. If that lady died, it's because maybe she had high blood pressures that were poorly controlled, and at the end of the day, it ended up as eclampsia. Because we have pre-eclampsia, a woman that has pre-eclampsia and she goes into eclampsia, that's a most dangerous and severe form. And so we encourage every woman to go for clinic and measure her blood pressures regularly.
Okay. Yes. Now, before that call, we're talking about women that are pregnant at the late stage, carrying out activities like laundry and some others, going even to the farm. Do you advise women at such a stage, that's the last stage, to go about daily activities like normally? I think we have another call on the line. Let's come back to that. Hello?
Yes, I'm still Mr. Monton Bevo Stephen from Batoke.
Okay, sir.
What are the measures that a pregnant woman should take before going for delivering? Because I was talking about eclampsia. What are the measures of a pregnant woman ready for delivering should do, so that the matter of the eclampsia shouldn't come, because he has explained to me, but I didn't really get him well.
Okay, he's going to come back to that. We have another question. We'll take that question, then we'll answer the two questions. Hello?
Yes, madam.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Your name, where you're calling from, and your question, please.
Yes, I'm calling from Samuel. I'm Solange.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to ask a question because I've realized that during my 2 last pregnancy, when it is due time for labor, I realized that I only have slight pain. And it goes like that for days. At the time I go to the hospital, they send me back. But it only continues but like that. At the end, at the time I start seeing a little bit of blood. Most of the time, they end up only provoking the labor. I want to know what is the cause.
Okay. We'll start with this last question. Then we'll go to the next.
Okay, most women going into labor, they are not the same. It also depends on how many times you have delivered before. At the stage of pregnancy, we have what we call latent phase of labor. Latent phase of labor means that you are feeling light pains that persist for a very long time. You are not yet in active labor, but you are in latent phase of labor. Not actually what we call not true labor. You are in labor, but you are not in true labor. So you feel that pains like that persistently for over a couple of days. Some women will even go for weeks. They are feeling pains. They go back to the hospital. They check them. They tell them that they are not yet in labor. They should go back because they are in latent phase of labor. It is not yet true labor. When it's like that, the only thing we can do is to send you back home. Except it persists for too long that we see that you can no longer cope with it. The gynecologist might step in and decide to induce your labor. And so it is a normal thing that most of the time it will appear like that, and it appears like that mostly for first-time mothers. It means that you are coming in for your first pregnancy. It takes a very long time. It can take from hours to days and even weeks for you to actually go into active labor. It's just a natural thing that happens.
Okay. Now, the previous caller was saying that he wants to know what can trigger eclampsia in pregnant women. What's the real trigger?
The trigger, it starts during ANC, like I insisted, during ANC. A woman that is attending her clinic, her blood pressures are high and nothing is being done about it. It's a high risk. It's a high risk. It's somebody that can easily get into eclampsia. It means that if you are going to clinic and your midwife has taken your blood pressures and has telling you that your blood pressures are high, they have placed you on treatment for high blood pressures, you should follow the treatment appropriately to be sure that you should not go into other complications. You should also think about your family history. If you have somebody in your history that has had a history of eclampsia or pre-eclampsia, you can likely have it during labor. And so what we encourage women is just clinic. There's nothing you can do at the stage of delivery, because prevention of pre-eclampsia, it starts immediately when you start taking when you have taken in. And so we encourage every woman. But if you have had pre-eclampsia in your previous pregnancy, your gynecologist will prescribe some drugs, what we call aspirin. That aspirin like that, we can also prevent pre-eclampsia. So it's only given to women that are at risk of pre-eclampsia. And so your gynecologist will step in and prescribe you those drugs that you will take in continuously till you deliver. And so we encourage, there's nothing you can do at the level of delivery, but you can do something at the stage of ANC.
Okay. What are some of the do's and don'ts immediately after childbirth, and what is the right time to leave the hospital?
Yes, the do's after childbirth, we encourage women first to be able to identify complications, to identify symptoms, and report, because we have women that will deliver even safely, and while in the ward they still go into other complications because they saw things and they fail to identify or notify the nurse or the midwife or the doctor. So we encourage them to, first of all, anything that they find on their body abnormal, they should indicate. Then they should eat well, drink enough water. They should also rest. They can also massage their uterus immediately after delivery. That can cause the uterus to contract so that they will not bleed abnormally. And so we encourage them to do all these things. And they should also latch their babies to breast. Latching means that they should put their babies to breast immediately. Immediately after they have delivered, the baby should start sucking. That also goes a long way to prevent other complications that might have happened in her body just from that latching of baby to her breast.
After how long can this woman go about her activities?
Yes, as it depends on the mode of delivery.
Okay.
A woman that has delivered normal vaginal delivery.
Yes.
Yes, we expect her within 24 to 48 hours. She should be strong enough to do minor things around.
Minor things like?
Minor things like she can be able to cook.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Really?
Yes, she can cook.
Okay.
Yes, but she should not be pounding things like she can cook light things. She can be able to sit on a chair and wash her clothes or wash the baby's clothes.
48 hours, really?
Yes, she can be able to do that. But a woman that has delivered through cesarean section,
yes,
within a week she cannot do all those things. She needs a caregiver that will continuously even help her to walk around. We need her to prepare food for her or to wash her clothes, wash the babies, and do other things around.
And then after giving birth, when is the right time for the lady to become her postnatal checkups?
Yes, we expect them to come in 1 week after her delivery. Then we also want them to come back at 6 weeks, because we have programs that have been scheduled at those points in time that is aimed at ameliorating the health of the baby and the mother. So we want them to come early. So it depends on the situation. So a woman, when she delivers, she should come back after 1 week. But we also have women that we want them to come back before that 1 week. For example, women that have delivered through cesarean section, we want them to come earlier and dress their wound before they go back. Or they have some other complications that we want to monitor closely. We prefer them to come back earlier. But the normal procedure is for them to come back 1 week after. They come back again at 6 weeks. Yes.
Before this, we were talking about preeclampsia. And focusing on the preeclampsia, is there a possibility that after giving birth, this woman still suffers from that condition?
Yes, like I said, after delivery, a woman can suffer from preeclampsia. Why? Because preeclampsia comes as a result of placenta and hormones in the body.
Okay.
And so after delivery, her body is still taking a process to completely clear off everything, the hormones, the placenta, and everything from her body. So she can easily go into eclampsia or preeclampsia.
Okay.
So a woman that has delivered is not yet free from eclampsia or preeclampsia.
Okay. I guess at the moment, a lot of pregnant women are looking at you. Their husbands are equally looking at you. Their sisters, cousins, to those who are pregnant are looking at you, and they want to know from you, what advice do you have for pregnant women who maybe at their first week of pregnancy, or maybe they are at their last trimester? What advice do you have for them watching you at the moment?
Yes, at this time, the best advice I can give to them is to attend their clinic, because at this time, during clinic, there are a lot of things that we identify during clinics, and it will help us a lot. A woman that starts clinic early, it helps the hospital and herself to be able to identify other complications and manage and follow her properly. Then a woman that is almost at time to deliver, we encourage her to prepare and also come to the hospital as well. So coming to the healthcare setting and preparing at home adequately also is good for her.
Thank you so much for participating on today's program.
Thank you so much, madam.
That was NGASAH Leonard. He is a nurse and equally midwife at the Boppy Baptist Hospital, located right here in the city of Douala. And for presentation, I am Immaculate for where I received technical assistance from Jonathan Babula and equally Bertrand Bonzini. From us right here to you over there, thank you for watching and listening. Have a wonderful day in the company of interesting programs on Equinoxe Radio and, of course, television. Bye-bye for now.